Hey, so how's it going? Today we're going to take a look at the Intensive Japanese Language Course Basic by Landesspracheninstitut. It's like the Language Institute in Germany. I'll go ahead and post a link in the description. They offer several languages that can be studied intensively over the course of about 2 to 3 weeks, I believe it is, and about 5+ hours a day of in classroom study. And they have, I think, for some of them, advanced languages. Like they have advanced study for Japanese as well. I think it's another 2 to 3 weeks. So I think altogether it totals out to about a month and a half. They have other languages like Chinese, basic and advanced course. They have Korean. They have Persian, Arabic, Russian. I believe German. I don't think they do English though. But let's see, and they even have like a hotel as part of it. It's a pretty cool setup. I haven't been there myself. I would really like to go, but obviously with everything kind of being locked down, it's a little bit difficult right now. But yeah, so I'll go ahead and take a look at the coursework they have, and keep in mind these books are, I believe, intended more for use within a classroom, their specific setting. The books are actually published, not, I believe, by the institute itself. So they are designed very specifically to meet the needs of their students and their needs to pass on very specific and important structures in the languages they're teaching, especially in such a short amount of time. So it's actually very reminiscent of what is it? It is the Defense Language Institute. You can get their courses online for free, by the way. The Defense Language Institute courses for free, not this company's. But they are, what is it? They're, I believe, part of the military, or of the Americans have that as their military, or part of their military is this training place. So language training place, excuse me, getting my English mixed up. So they teach people there for much longer periods of time. Like Japanese there would be a much more advanced level, and it would take place over, I think, like a year, like 64 weeks or something crazy like that, and that's all you do every day. So this is like a much more condensed version that is the basic stuff. So, and they do have online courses, by the way, for this stuff, or for this company. So we'll go ahead and take a look at the contents page here real quick. So 12 lessons altogether, and then it covers various things. Lesson 0, which I think is, I don't think I really looked at that one too much. I believe it's a lot of like basic exercises. We'll get in a second. It has to do with self-introduction. From lesson 1, we get identifying people, Selbstvorstellung, introducing yourself and others, to ask somebody to repeat something or to explain something, to recommend food, and to react thereupon, to thank somebody, things like that. So very useful, very obviously useful phrases and things like that. And so it covers the grammar here, explains here, okay, what grammar points will be covered, then what themes, like, parties, drinks and food, family, Beruf, what is that in English? That is like related to your job, career, numbers, age, information about Japan, like phrases, giving gifts when somebody doesn't understand something. So obviously early on you want to know things like, hey, could you explain that? Hey, could you repeat that? I didn't quite catch that. It's very, very useful. Let's see. And some of these books, doesn't look like right now, but I think I found this. I think it was Amazon. Really, really cheap, like €10, I think, brand new. I think it was in the Japanese Amazon though, but that was because I think this is actually the older version, older edition. So let's see. Yeah, here we go. So yeah, if you. And this is a little bit rough because obviously the characters make it a little bit harder on the reading, but in conjunction with the European language reference, what is it? Like A1, A2. This should get you to about an A2 if you're doing this with the every day for 5 hours, 5+ hours at the school, you should be able to get to an A2 level. And then if you do the advanced one, auch wenn bereits Elemente von B1 im Buch vorkommen. So yeah, they have even some elements of the B1, so early intermediate. And I believe with the advanced course of Japanese, they do get you to about a B1 level. You can get the audio, I think, for free actually from them. It also comes with a CD. So let's see, go ahead and just show kind of how it starts out. So here they have you kind of matching, well, what is this? Here's the German, here's the English. I don't know if they have English courses. A lot of Germans speak English, so, but again, the courses are really intensively in the language, so they're actually having you speaking the language as much as possible. Let's see, various exercises. Let's go to the first lesson here, Schreibübung, so what is that, writing exercise. And then here's like an email, for example, a Japanese email, kolkan, like exchanging the Japanese emails and whatnot. There's somebody at a party, introducing people, and then you get the cultural points here, which are important. And let's see, where's another point? Yeah, more exercises here. Okay, so they have you putting together like dialogues, please and thank you, what you're supposed to say, and then what the other person would say in response. So you have to kind of think what would be said, or somebody saying something to you and then you responding. So, for example, here they have information about Japanese work. You know how people, for example, would spend almost up until recently, people would spend their entire life by the same company. So for a lot of people that work in the same place, it says, even today, that's like a lot of people that work in the same building, the same company. They're kind of like a big family. Let's see, so when you travel places, and this is true in Japan, that if you travel somewhere and come back, you're supposed to kind of bring like gifts to people, like usually like snacks and foods, not like chocolate necessarily, but like senbei, which are like crackers, almost like rice crackers, things like that. They can be sweets too, especially from like Hokkaido. They have a lot of good stuff. What else? So things like that. And then if even if you have like a customer that you regularly deal with, they might give you gifts. Or if there's like a successful kind of business thing, people will give each other gifts. If you take a day off, things like that. So these are the types of things it covers there. Let's see. More exercises. So this is hearing, understanding. What is that in English? Hörverständnis. I don't like listening to understand, something along those lines. So hearing practice, maybe listening practice. And then we get to the freie Unterhaltung, so kind of like a non-scripted conversation, basically. And then we have Japanese info about restaurants and things like that. So that's how the book is structured throughout the book, or it's structured this way throughout the book. Video's dragging on longer than I meant to. But yeah, so it goes on, covers quite a few things, and then we have at the end of the book we get Japanese routine greetings, maybe hajimemashite. So translation, the first time or the first time end, yoroshiku onegaishimasu. This is good. Please, I make to you. Those are it's a literal translation, and then you get a on the right side here, you get like kind of a loose translation, and then you get how that would be translated, in this case in German, like naturally, how that would naturally be said in German. So it's kind of cool that they do that. So it gives you kind of, well, here's the general sense, here's how this would be translated directly, here's the actual translation, here is, kind of a loose translation to get you the idea, and then here's the literal. And because that's actually one of the harder parts about a language like Japanese is the greetings. They are quite different, and I've often found that hard when translating for people, either into English or German. or other languages, it's like you try to say something, it's like, well, how would you say that? Like, because it's just kind of different the way they think, so the way things are expressed. So it's actually really cool that they have this set up that way. I forgot about this actually. Yeah, and then you have the CD at the ends and the track information. So that's the intensive course for Japanese, and then, like I said, they have Korean, which is the intensive and basic course in one. I think this one goes up to A2. The Chinese goes up to B1, for those who are interested. And in the case of the Chinese course, though, they don't actually focus on the script. They do have it, but it actually focuses more on pinyin to get you to the advanced level very quickly. And just kind of a side note, all these books are like different sizes. For some reason, the Japanese course is like freakishly large in comparison to the rest of them. I don't know if you can see this. You can see this here. It's like, well, I don't know. I just wanted to add that in. So, yeah, I hope you enjoyed the review. But I'd actually really recommend the course books on their own, even if you can use them, because they're really not bad. Even though they are designed more for classroom experience, they have a lot of writing and a lot of audio. Like I said, the audio is free, so it doesn't hurt to check that out.